So here we are. Welcome back to Flight Simulator 2020. I am getting ready to do another job. I was going to take a long 2-hour job from the airport that I was at back to my home base. I found there's a new option in OnAir that allows you to go ahead and return back to your local airport with a job. And we've gotten pretty far away from our main airport. So I wanted to pick that and then put it in my airplane and bring it back. And I've done that. And then I went away for 2 weeks, got busy, came back to find out that it's time for my aircraft's annual inspection, which means that my airplane has to go down for a couple days, which sucks. I can't, hang on, let me get hold on one sec. I had to figure out which button it was to do this. So we're going to look at our aircraft here. If I go to my company and I go to my main screen, it takes a minute. We have our aircraft of 0 in flight, a total of 1 aircraft. I go here and I go to do my flight. Usually there's a little takeoff button. Oh, but wait a minute. I can't. There's a red X saying that annual checkup is needed. Well, how do I do that? I don't know. I've never done this before. So I think I have to go to manage the aircraft, and I need to look at workshop. There we go. Oh, okay. So I've got all my stuff set up, and I'm going to go ahead and put my annual checkup on. And we're at the current airport, which is Gooding, over here. And I'm going to go ahead and pick my FBO details. There's no aircraft on the work, so we're gonna get a quote. Oh God. So it's going to be $6,000 and take me a day and a half to do this. Which sucks is I just got this aircraft and it was due for an annual like within 3 weeks of me getting it. But you got to do it. So there we go. So I had 70,000. I now have 60,000. The aircraft's loaded and ready to go back to base, but I can't do anything. So now we're kind of stuck, and I'm trying to figure out. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to rent an airplane for the time being. So we're going to go to World Aircraft Market. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to load. I want to load. Let's go back over to this window. The other airplane that I have right now set up for this controller, the way that I have it set up, and I am going to do a review. People keep asking me to do a review of the Alpha Bravo. I got to clean my office first because it's a mess. Once I get that cleaned up a bit, I will do a review on this controller. But we're at I think it's KGNG, which should be Gooding. Yep. And we're gonna go ahead and pick a runway. We'll just park right there. That looks good. And I am going to be in the Piper. I'm going to see if we can find this Piper Arrow. I think this is my favorite livery on this airplane. So we'll go for that. And we're going to go ahead and close this. So, and I'm going to go ahead and pick Fly and start loading that in. And then I'm going to go ahead over here and I'm going to go ahead and search for the aircraft I have loaded in my simulator. Let's see if this works. Okay, so I'm not ready yet. I gotta wait till the airplane loads. So we'll be right back. All right, I got the airplane loaded, as you can see in the background. Now we're gonna try to do this. Let's see, search for aircraft, and this should bring us. Oh yeah, look at Piper Arrow. All right, and I want to display, sell, rent, and lease offers. Okay. I want to buy one of these. Maybe I think we're going to skip buying this one though, but we'll rent this one for right now while our aircraft is in use. It's too expensive to buy, but I want to rent. It's $410 to rent. Where's the nearest one? 18 miles. Cager. It's probably in Jerome. Oh, let's pick this one. And let's go ahead and rent it. I don't know how this is going to work. So seat configuration, full eco, that's fine. Extra cargo capacity 0. That's fine. Confirm. Okay, loading the aircraft. So we have rented this aircraft. Low on fuel. We'll take care of that. So now I need to figure out, gosh, the trick is I need to be able to move over there, and I think I have. So on Flight Sim, I'm going to need to move my aircraft. So we're going to come here, and we're going to exit this. And go back here. I got to figure out how to do this. So we have an aircraft. Actually, I think I have to look at my pilot. So let's go ahead and look at me. Me. Employees 1, that would be me. And I need to manage. Transport. KJER. Start transportation. Yes, there we go. So now I am at Cager. And I am my company. We need to go to the dashboard. Now we're going to go back to the aircraft. And I need to find jobs for this little airplane. So let's see what we got. Now, I don't know the max weight. This airplane's not much heavier than the one that we're flying, but it's a bit heavier. All right, so jobs. What is this doing? Okay, that's going over to Pocatello. That is Idaho, right? And Preston, yeah. Logan. So that's kind of on the border of Idaho. Over here is going to be Wyoming, I think. Yeah. Yeah, Evanston. And there's Salt Lake City. So yeah, that'll work. That kind of takes us back the way we came anyway. So let's go ahead and accept that flight. Dang it. It's not exactly what I wanted, but oh well. We'll take that. And we got to start. We can do some sightseeing missions. That'll be fun. I didn't realize we had those jobs. Let's see what those are. Oh, those pay good. Oh, wow. Oh, we got to start doing that when we get a bigger airplane. Oh, that's so cool. I love taking people on tours. That's really cool. Okay, but we too late. We didn't have it this time, but I will figure that out for the next flight. So now I'm going to go ahead and burn options, business, my company here. The only way I know, I'm kind of bad at navigating this. I've got my routes. It's probably not the fastest way to do it, but there we go. So let's go ahead and prepare for flight. And dried goods, let's go ahead and load those up. And we still have available payload, 800 pounds. So we're going to load that up. I want to do more fuel. Probably half a tank would be more than enough. Oh, okay, 45 pounds. 73 pounds available. That's like, well, that looks good right there. Right about there. So we need to buy some. How much is that going to cost? Oh, well, that's probably good. So let's go ahead and load this up. Pilot Artie Fufkin. Let's go. Why can't I go? Ready to fly? No? Yeah? Huh? Hold on a second. I'll hide my screen stretched too big. I couldn't see the validating fuel payload. All right, so there we go. So now we are loading our aircraft. Our aircrafts. And I'll be right back. Okay, so we are ready to click the Fly Now button. Let's see if we can pick this up. We're going to Lava Hot Springs, which is O1D. Is that right? O1LD? O1ID? Oh, Idaho. So it's Idaho. O1ID. About 43 minutes, heading 93. METAR's good. Okay, runways. We have no METAR available. Let's see if we can get it refreshed. No, we're taking dry goods. It's 107 miles. And 2,000 feet long air runway. That's not bad. It's pretty short. Altitude's at 5,200 feet, so we're 5,000. So approach will probably be a 6,200 or higher. And we are flying east, so we need to be at the fives, right? And I need to reset my cam. There we go. All right, so I think we're ready to fly. I'm going to go ahead and start tracking. And that should not be the middle of the night. What just happened there? What? Hold on one second. Well, this ought to be interesting. I set my OnAir clock to be a third or 3 hours behind actual time. And now it thinks it's actually 3 hours behind that. So it is 10:54, and I forgot that means it's not see now. So it's 11, 10, 9. It's 9 o'clock in the morning minus 3 hours. So it's about 6. So yeah, just 5:45. So it's dark. It's going to be light by the time we get there, but there we go. So we're flying at night. Woo! That'll be fun. We'll see how this goes. See how this goes. Okay, so anyway, we are following the aircraft. Let's see, my company. I got to go back to one thing off screen. Hold on. All right. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to try some new stuff with cool camera angles here in a little bit. But anyway, it's dark in the aircraft, so let's go ahead and turn on our alternator and our battery. All right, and cabin lights. I'm going to turn those up. I'm going to take this out because sometimes it's easier to see. Let's get rid of that. And lights. Like panel lights. Switch lights. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. And let's go ahead and start our engine. Actually, first things first. Navigation lights are on. Strobe lights are on automatically on this aircraft, I believe. Let's double check that. Landing light, fin, strobe light. Okay, that's on already. For safety. And let's go ahead and start her. Magneto's on. And...
your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
Good thing to turn the fuel up a little bit there. All right. All right. Aircraft is started. And we're on both. Turn the starter off. Didn't turn the fuel pump on. Mixture is going to be back just a hair because we're already at 4,000 feet. So about there for mixture. Pull the feathering back just a hair. And what else do we need to do? So we need to turn our avionics on. Turn our taxi lights on. I don't think this airplane has taxi lights. Does it have recogs? Yep. Nope, I want that on. What did I just do to the cabin lights? Oops. Sorry, I'm still learning some of these buttons. Put tow heat on. I do want that cabin light back on, though. Let's turn that. Where's the button? Oh, now I've done it. Oh, well, we can still see okay. All right, so that's weird, though. It was odd that turned that off. Those are regular cabin lights. Okay, well, it is what it is. I don't have de-icing in this aircraft, so I don't need any of that stuff. All right, so we got that all set up. And now let's go ahead and turn our beacons on, strobes are on, everything else is on. Yep, okay, good. So we're going to go ahead and program our GPS now to our location that we're heading to. Oh, God. I'm looking for the letter I. C, D, E, F, G, H, I, D. Hot Springs, there it is. And enter. Activate. Okay, so we got our GPS programmed. And it's so funny, these are so tiny. Like, I'm so used to the big honking GPS that's in my airplane. The Microsoft one always gives it. Microsoft's, like, they tend to be huge. Like, the They give you big GPS like fancy. Not so with these airplanes. Okay, parking brakes are off. And let's go ahead and taxi on out to the runway, which is, what do we land? Obviously the opposite direction of where, so it's going to be that way. Why are we not rolling? Okay, that was bizarre. I feel like the parking brake is still on. Parking brakes are off for sure. Okay. I don't remember having to rev this aircraft this high to make it move, but I guess that's how it goes. And let's go ahead and flip our landing lights on. Jerome Ground, this is Piper 2 Lima Golf taxiing runway. Oh God, I don't know the runway number. 33. It's kind of windy. Oh, this is going to be a disaster. I'm already like taxiing off the runway. Oh, runway 27. There we go. I feel like the drag brake is on or something, man. It's really... The brakes are like super stiff. Drone traffic, this is Piper 2 Lima Golf taking off runway 27. Departing east. I mean, my brakes are definitely not on. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this airplane off the ground. Full throttle. A little back pressure on the stick. And she's off. Gear up.
Airborne time logged.
Very smooth. I need a little up trim though. My nose is trying to pull back down again. And there we go. That's nice. It's a little bit of an overcast day. We'll probably be primarily flying via GPS. And I'm going to be turning left. Flaps up. And the sun's starting to come up already, so that's good. I love this air. This is, out of all of the airplanes that are available in Flight Sim, this one is definitely my favorite marketplace airplane. It is just a smooth flying airplane, and it tracks nicely. It is easy to fly. All the controls work. I've really found it to not be very buggy at all. Like sometimes, sometimes they develop bugs. They've always fixed this one right away, and Carinado makes good airplanes. This is just like a great airplane. All right, so we are pretty much on our heading now. So let's go ahead and get our autopilot set up. I'm going to go ahead and set our altitude. Let's see, altitude here. There we go. We're going to hold to this altitude for a sec once the autopilot kicks in. There we go. Autopilot's on. It wants to hold this altitude. Going to pull back a little bit on the RPM so we don't get too much speed going here. Look at that. Look at the speed building up. Whoa. This airplane is so fast. We're going to really watch. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put the airplane onto the GPS heading. So, nav is engaged. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and start putting our altitude. It looks like it's trying to fly me back into the ground. Interesting. We definitely want our altitude higher. There we go. So altitude bug. I'm not sure where to see what our altitude's set at. So hang on, let's look here. Where's our autopilot? No, altitude's on. Interesting. I don't see where we're setting the altitude. And once in a while, it's been a while since I've played with the GPS. The good news is we're climbing, which is what we want, but I need to put a little more engine power into it now because we're obviously, now instead of dropping, we're going up. And well, I guess we'll find out when we reach that altitude what it is. And vertical speed, I'm going to drop that down to 500. There we go. There, it's more like 300. Okay, so I've got the vertical speed set at 300 feet per minute. Feather this back a little bit on the mix. That's probably about right. And we'll go ahead and let the airplane climb. RPMs are good. We're right a little bit above where we want to be. We want to be about 2,500 RPMs. So we'll cut that back just a hair, which means we're going to lose a little teeny bit of speed. Vertical speed down a little bit. That's my Dalmatian talking. We call her Chewbacca. So I wish I could see on the autopilot. I thought this thing would actually show me what altitude I had set, but it doesn't really show you, which kind of sucks. But we'll just set it up, and if I have it set high enough that I can pick vertical speed. The vertical speed's at +7, and I'm not. Hang on. All right, I wanted it at 300. There. Okay. All right. I think I got it now. Okay. There we go. That'll stabilize it. I want to get a nice steady climb going without dropping speed too much. So, once again, learning the new aircraft, how it operates. It's always a little bit of a trick. So I think the way that I used to operate this this particular autopilot was to just set it on vertical speed, and then when I got to the altitude that I wanted, I would hit the altitude button to turn it on altitude, and that would set the current altitude. So I think that's how we need to do it. Now I need to go back here and see where we're headed. I don't know. I'm hoping we're still on the correct path. Somehow I changed the screen. Yeah, we're good. It's pretty neat. Archaic. There we go. And according to the GPS, we are, let's see, distance, I think we're 81 miles or 93. 93 miles. This doesn't give us a estimated flight time. But that'll, as we gain altitude and speed up, that'll change. So once again, we're going to go ahead and progress with the flight, and I'll give you a little montage here, and I will see you on the other side. Thought I'd bump back in here real quick. We are, for a while, I didn't realize the autopilot wasn't climbing. So we are going to be just passing over these mountains pretty close. The other thing I figured out was how to set, I've set my secondary GPS now to get more information. This is kind of cool. So I've got this one showing me the map, and then this one showing me information where ground speed is 144. You can see they're matching up. We're climbing at, we're 9,400 feet and climbing. I'm not sure what track is. That might be the degrees that we're flying, 82 degrees. I'll have to look that up. But we're heading east, which would be, yeah, about 82. So that's probably our track. So we're at 82 right here, and that shows, that's verifying that, heading east. Showing our position. And then we have, this had information on the waypoint. Hang on, let's see. We're about 22 minutes out. Yeah, it's just cool information. It gives you a lot of different information about the airport. Now this is interesting. I thought this would have information about the approach, but it doesn't. Yeah. Showing us nearest airports, nearest intersection, no airspaces nearby. Anyway, thought that was pretty neat, so I thought I'd share that with you. We are somewhere over either Idaho or, well, I think this is all part of Idaho because we were in Idaho when we left. So, by the way, I had flown to Idaho off camera, so that's, you're wondering like, hey, what the heck? But anyway, we are about 20 minutes out from the airport here, and I think we're gonna be going to the right to land. We're gonna be landing on runway 32 because that seems to be the most into the wind runway. We have two runways, 14 and 32, and that's 32 seems to be kind of heading back the way that we came originally, but going the correct direction. So for the wind, but we'll see how the wind is. These mountains might change the wind a bit too. So the wind was out of the west when we took off pretty heavily, but we'll see when we get out here. This is a pretty +3 day. I'm not weather hasn't been terrible, haven't had any rain or anything like that, but it also is not great flying weather because it's so windy. So wow. But since we're flying with the wind right now, we're getting pretty good ground speed, and like I said, you saw that we're going almost 150 miles an hour ground speed. Airspeed indicator showing us we're moving at about 105, which would make sense because the wind's blowing us 30 miles an hour faster than we're traveling. So we're getting a nice boost from that tailwind that's pushing us along there, and pretty cool stuff. So, all right, I will see you guys when we get there. So we are heading towards this Lava Springs Airport. Now, apparently it is up in the mountains here, so we are going to have to climb this. Climb every mountain. Climb. Sorry. I think it's right on the other side of these mountains here. So let's just see what happens, man. We have enough low speed to put our flaps down now. I'm going to kind of keep it at that speed, but I'm not going to use the flaps yet. I need to put some trim back in because when the slew mode, I lost my trim settings. So now I'm like yanking the stick to keep the nose up. There we go. There we go. Much better. There's a road over there that goes up into the spring. So I can see why they need cosmetics delivered or whatever. Solid dry goods, because they're like up here in the middle of nowhere. But anyway, we got back where we left off. The weather has kind of changed, but anyway. And the other thing I wanted to do too is I want to throw this on. I think this might be what caused the crash in the first place. I've been trying to do instant replay so that we can have some cool views. Oh, it's missing from the menu. Oh well. And now it's turned off. Okay, well I guess there's no instant replay. I really want to be able to show you guys like whole flights and like be able to get outside and do cool camera work like when we're landing and taking off. And I need replay working, so give me 1 second. Okay, so we're gonna turn this on now. What I really should do is have this. I'm gonna call this landing. Landing. Okay. Landing. That's good enough. And then I'm going to minimize this, and we'll go ahead and run that. I had this off screen, which could have been why it crashed. But we'll see. But I'm hoping what that does is that allows us, for you guys to be able to see, we can come back and look at our sweet landing. We need to panel lights. Yeah, I'll turn those on. All right. We had all that stuff on before. The airport should be right to our left. Get it? Right to our left. We are way high up. I do not see it. So we're going to fly over this area and see if we can't see this little airport. It's showing like up in this area here. So I think what I'm gonna have to do for the replays, instead of running it the whole time, I'll just use it during takeoff and landing sequences and give us some cool stuff to work with. But dang. That's it. Oh, wow. Oh, that is a short little runway. Of course, now that I got rid of the Cub, now that my Cub's being worked on, the one airplane that is designed for those kind of fields, I got a field to land on. So, all right, so we're going to cut the throttle back, and we're going to kind of loopy our way down because we are obviously a lot higher than the airport. I think that's it. But then there's another one next to it. Look at that. What, okay, my thought was this is the airport. What's this? Hi, Percy. What's okay? Is that? Oh, boy. It says it's south of the main road. Oh, what? Like it should be over here. Oh, okay, there it is. That's the airport. All right, you know, you never know what the airport's going to look like. Especially never being here before, and there's a lot to look at. That did look like a runway. That looks a little bit more manageable as far as the length goes here. That's our runway, and it's pretty long. Oh, one ID. This is Piper Thule McGolf entering air traffic crosswind. Runway 14 to land. Full stop. Man, that's kind of a grass runway, isn't it? So flaps down before we get too much speed. One layer of flaps. It's nice and long, though. Second lever of flaps. I gotta get this bird down, slow it down. Well, we can work on this. We're gonna have to work our way down into that. But that's cool. That's actually, looks like it's up on a mountaintop there too, which is kind of neat. So this should be a fun landing. That's what the last guy said. The one that ended up crashing into the creek. That'll be a fun landing. All right. So that's the first time I've had this game crash in a long time, and I do think it has to do with the trying to run the replay thing for the whole flight, that probably just was too much. But I'm glad they have a replay thing now, because that, once again, that allows me to make some cool, I can load this up later and make some cool like footage of the airplane landing. So we're going to get over that river down there and head back. It's almost like landing in Switzerland, but it's not. Bring it around town. Bring it around town. We're going in right wing up. There's the runway right ahead. Perfect. Nope. And we're putting our gear down. Flaps down. Power down. Fuel pump off. Why is that on? Somehow I flipped that on. Okay. We're still a little on the high side. Get that power down all the way. Make sure the flaps are 100% down. And
190 at 12 knots.
12 knots isn't too bad. 190. We're at 140, so that's pretty good lineup. Less speed. We're still kind of high speed here. It's going to take points off for that, but this airplane seems to like to land at 80 knots, and so they tell you 70 is the landing speed, but I know, Bella. Gotta get this thing under control. Oh man, that's a short runway. We're already I feel like we're halfway down the runway already. All right, let her get her down.
Landing time logged.
Why does it feel like we're not? I feel like I'm all over the place. I feel like I have no wheels, doesn't it? That was a really bad landing, but let's see how we did. Does it not feel like we had no wheels when we landed? But we do. Wow. That was the worst landing I think I've had in a long time. Come on, let's get it rolling. Well, we made some money. Let's see how the flight... We'll look at the flight report once we get stowed. Interesting. That was an interesting landing. Not my best. But then again, I got 12 knot wind too, so that's pretty steep for a little airplane like this. Crunch. I know, I gotta get dog food. I ran out this morning. My dogs are angry at me. Hear them whimpering. We need food. You need food. I'm gonna get you some food in a minute here. All right. All right. Let's pull her on in. Ta-da. No brakes. The airplane just stops by itself. That's interesting. It should not do that. So something's not right. Shut these off. Pull that back. And we're going to go ahead and lights off. Battery and alternator off. Engine off. Ta-da!
Engine off time log.
Engine off
The
time
flight is
log.
finished. It has been monitored by OnAir.
That was an interesting setup because of all the weirdness that happened. Now, here's the thing. Did it shut my... It did. It shut my replay off. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that replay. Let's see. Nope. It just erased the replay. How do you like that? Okay, so obviously you can't turn the engine off without turning the replay off. So we have no replay. Thanks. And so we failed that. But that's okay. It's a learning experience. But it still kind of pisses me off that that happened. But whatever. You can't do anything about it. No use crying over spilled milk. Okay, so we had a great flight, a terrible landing, and definitely mishaps. However, our landing was smooth. We never get that rating in the other plane, and that was weird because I felt like that was the worst landing I've ever had. That's happy landing speed, 88 knots. Gosh, if it was reading 80. Must be ground speed. Yeah, it was all good, all good. So I look at reputation for the first time ever. Our reputation went up. I got to stop flying that other aircraft because that other airplane's killing me. Ugh. Oh well, we're gonna have to save up a little bit more, and we'll have enough to get this airplane or a different airplane. Normal wear and tear. That's all good. And so, okay, let's finish that up and take a look at our company, see where we're at. So I'm back to 60. I'm actually down. I had 71,000 when I started. What a freaking joke. But that's because we had 6,000 of that. We had a renting bond, which I think we get that back. Fuel, landing fee, and those expenses. Then we made $7,300. So, yeah, we're negative money, but we'll use this airplane for a couple more flights, and then we'll get caught up again. So, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed this sort of new format. Once again, I plan on bringing more stuff. If I can get the replay thing to work, it'd be so nice to be able to have those replays, so we can actually go outside the airplane and get cool views as I take off and land. Hopefully that's coming in a future episode, but obviously in this episode it went AWOL, so it didn't work. So we'll try it again next time, but we'll see. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help, and we'll see you next time on Flight Simulator 2022. So long.